Hello, all my dear students. Welcome to Sri Jendra Rank Zone classes, and I'm Amit Ajmani, your English facilitator. In this lecture, we will continue the topic resume writing. Now, in the previous class, we discussed about the importance of resume, what exactly resume is. We also discussed about the various things we need to keep in mind while writing a good resume. And we talked about the various types of resume. There were three formats that we discussed yesterday. One was the chronological format, another was the functional format, and third one was the combined format. In today's class, we will be taking up the sample resumes based on all these three formats one by one. So let us start up with the first type of format, that is the chronological format. Just in order to give a briefing, chronological format means a type of resume format in which we will be focusing more on our employment history. We will be focusing more on our experience. So let us see the sample number one. How we write a resume as per chronological format. The person who is applying, the name is Aditya Bhattacharya. His address 822, SFS Flats, Santa Cruz, Mumbai with pin code. Phone number is this. Now we should remember that we should not write any particular phone number in full like 182060, nothing like this. Simply 98XXXXXXXX and email, right? Email is always written in initial letter small. It is never in capital letters. So adi.bhattacharya @abc.com. We need not to write gmail.com or something like that. So here we have just seen the name, we have seen the second thing, address, the phone number, and the email ID. So this is all from where we are going to start our resume, right? Name, address, phone number, and email ID. Also, please try to relate the indenting. We have just not written it like this. It is not written like this. Had it been like this, it would be not such a good representation. So what we have done is we have indented Aditya Bhattacharya in the center. Now we know that we are going to write the address. We have just written it like this, again like this, then again like this, and like this. So this kind of representation appears better as compared to this representation. Fine. Few things you need to keep in mind because we need to create a good impression by writing a good resume which should appear nice, right? After these basic details of name, address, phone number, and email, we write the objective and summary. Now, all capital objective, colon we have just put in after that. What is the objective? Let us see. To be associated with an organization that will offer to me tremendous opportunities for growth in career and provide a challenging environment that will utilize my accounting skills and abilities to the maximum. So this is the objective with which you are trying to join the company, and it's better that you learn these three lines because in objective you have to write, you need to learn it. So when we are writing our objective, what we have written is that we want to get ourselves associated with such an organization that offers opportunities for growth in career. We just do not want salary. We need opportunity for growth in our career, and we require such an environment where we are able to utilize our skills and abilities to the maximum. Now, this particular person is applying for the post of an accountant. So that is why he has used this word accounting skills. When we are learning this objective so that we can use it anywhere else in any other resume, obviously we need to change this word depending upon the profile, depending upon the post for which we are writing, because every particular post requires different skills, right? So whether it is technical skills or computer skills or software skills or mechanical skills or accounting skills or teaching skills, skills will be there, but this term accounting, teaching, mechanical, right, that will be different in all different resumes. So this is our objective. Coming to the summary now, how we are going to summarize ourselves: more than 13 years of experience in both practical and managerial aspects of the job, right? This is what we are talking about our own self, that I have more than 13 years of experience. Next, I is understood, possess a flawless understanding of fundamental concepts in accounting. Next, I have exceptionally good. I am exceptionally good at application of accounting concepts in a varied manner. And I have got extensive experience in accounting practices to explore the various facets of the economy. I possess excellent communication and comprehension skills, and I have got in-depth knowledge of foreign policies and trade policies followed by various nations across the world. So I is understood. So that is why we have just written that this is the summary of me. What I have more than 13 years of experience in practical and managerial aspects. Possess flawless understanding, exceptionally good, extensive experience, excellent communication, in-depth knowledge. These all adjectives you need to relate. Flawless understanding, exceptionally good at something, extensive experience in something, excellent communication and comprehension skills, in-depth knowledge of something. These you will be requiring everywhere while writing a resume, because everywhere you need to put forth you have an in-depth knowledge of whatever field you are applying for. You have an extensive experience. You have a flawless understanding. Getting my point? So the remaining part is depending upon the job, but the starting these adjectives, these we need to learn. We need to remember, because this we can manipulate, we can use as per our own understanding as to where we are applying. Now, experience in a chronological format, this is what we are focusing at, and that is why you can relate how in detail we will be mentioning the experience, because chronological format, it actually states that we are, number one, we are highlighting our experience employment details. Number two, it is in a reverse chronological manner. So whatever we have done recent will be written first. It will be in reverse. Let us see how. Since 2004 till dash means till present time, where we are working and at what is our job title. So we have been working as a chartered accountant. This is my job title. Name and details of the organization where I am working: Audit and Taxation Department, XYZ and Associates, Bandra, Mumbai. Right? So this is chartered accountant is my job title. This is the detail of the organization where I am working. Now comes our responsibilities and achievements here. What exactly are our responsibilities? We need to write those. What do we do here as a chartered accountant? Dealing with different clients to understand their trading scopes and status of accountings. This is my first profile. Then what else do we do there? Managing their financial systems and budgets, performing periodic financial audit for them, preparation of reply to notices of income tax authorities, preparation of sales tax, service tax, wealth tax, returns of various clients, conducting regular meetings with the senior management, providing expert financial advices for the decision making process. So these are all our responsibilities. This is our job profile. This is what we have been doing in this particular organization where we have been working for the past so many years, 2004 till present day, right? So you have actually highlighted your employment details in a great extent. Fine. Now, before that, what you did from 2001 to 2004, you see, we are going reverse. 2004 till present. Before that, 2001 to 2004. We worked as, this is my job title, interqualified chartered accountant, where in direct taxation department, Goyal and Associates Chartered Accountants, Pitampura, Delhi. So this is the job title. This is the name and address of the organization we worked. Once again, what were our responsibilities there? What exactly I did there? This is what we need to specify. There worked as a core team member of engagement teams for statutory audits and tax audits to clients across varied sectors of the industry. This was the first responsibility given to us there. Independently handled assignments and maintained liaison with clients. Second responsibility, the job profile we did there. Prepared financial statements of various companies and firms. So while working with Goyals and Associates Chartered Accountants since 2001 to 2004, we actually did these things. Clear? So this is our experience. Now we'll be focusing on our education. And once again, going in the reverse sequence. Whatever we did last will be written first. In 2004, we did our CA final from, you have to specify from where, ICAI Mumbai, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. In 2001, we completed CA PCE from once again ICAI Delhi. 1998, we did CA CPT from ICAI Delhi. In the year 2000, you completed BCom Pass from Hansraj College, DU, Delhi University. Now, that means while you were doing your graduation, you were also doing your CA CPT, which you completed by 2001. In 1997, you completed your 12th class from CBSC, name of the school, KD Public School, Shalimar Bagh, Delhi. Right? And in 1995, class 10th CBSC, Central Board of Secondary Education, KD Public School, Shalimar Bagh, Delhi. Now, actual sequence is 1995, we did our 12th. After 2 years, obviously we completed our 12th. Then we got admission in the college. The graduation course is of 3 years. And while we were in the second year, we gave this CA CPT examination and we got cleared. And by the time we completed our graduation, and after that, we did our CA PCE and then CA final in 2004. but we have to write in a reverse chronological order. You need to make sure that the time gaps are taken care of. In between 10th and 12th, it is 2 years. If you are doing a commerce field graduation, it is 3 years time. Science engineering, it's 4 years. Right? So you need to relate this time difference. So this is all about our education. What exactly we did, from where we did. Talking about the graduation or the schooling, we will mention the name of the schools and the name of the college and university. Got it? So these are the various details we need to mention while we are writing our education details. Now coming to skills. You see, the skills part in chronological format is coming quite late. Fine, because we have focused mainly on our employment history. While writing skills, we will write it in point formats, that is, well versed with MS Office, working knowledge of Tally, this is an accounting software because you are working as an accountant, completed compulsory 250 hours of computer training as per ICAI curriculum schedule, and updated with all the latest computer applications and softwares. These are your skills. Got it? After that, now you will be writing your personal details. Personal details will include your date of birth. You will write your date of birth, marital status, married, languages known. You can write any 3 or 4 languages. Permanent address. You have written your permanent address. Few things to remember. Whenever you are writing your personal details, this left hand side has to be initial alphabet capital. Everything has to be first alphabet capital. Second important thing, it is languages known, because you are writing the names of minimum 2 languages. It should not be language known, languages known. Third important thing, these are all languages, so we need to write initial alphabet capital. Right? So these are our personal details. And finally, declaration, that I solemnly declare that all the above information is correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. Finally, you have to write the date colon, you can leave it, place colon, you may leave it, and on the right hand side in bracket you need to write your name and put a signature above it. So this is how we write a resume in a chronological manner. Just try to relate once again. Let me take the screen above. When we started with the name, with the address, with the phone number and email ID. These were the 4 things that we started with. Then we wrote the objective. Then we wrote the summary. Then we started up with our experience. What all we did, at what job title we worked with, which organization we worked with, and what were the various responsibilities we had there while we were working in that particular organization at that particular job post. In detail, we have specified our job employment history. After that, all our education part, and once again, both of these things in reverse chronological order. After writing it, we mentioned our skills, then our personal details, and finally the declaration. This is what exactly a resume should be like as per chronological format. Right? I hope you must have understood this. Now you will be able to relate better when you will relate how a resume is written as per functional format. So we'll be able to compare the two. Now in a functional format, now we have started it from the extreme left. You could have started from in between also. From left, David Alter, name, all capital, phone number, email ID, address, and birthday. You can write it below also in personal details. Here also you can write date of birth, right? Name remains the same. It is must. Phone number, email ID, address must. You could have written address above the way we have written in chronological. That is not a difference. You could have written the address above. You could not have written this birthday here and written in the personal details at the end. That is immaterial. One or the same thing. There are no set of rules as to whether we should write address above or address below in chronological or functional. Nothing like that, right? Now, talking about career objective. Again, the objective remains same, but there is a different language being used here. Whichever you feel like, you can learn any one and you can use that anywhere. Now, what is the career objective? Seeking a challenging career with a progressive organization that provides an opportunity to utilize my technical skills and abilities in the field of information technology. So because now it is not accounting field, it is IT field. So rather than using accounting skills, now we have used technical skills and abilities. This is what I have told you earlier when we were doing the first sample resume. Fine. This is our career objective. Everything almost same, just a bit of change in the language. Fine. You could have written the same objective that you have written in chronological here also. That is not important. You can write any of these two. Once again, no hard and fast rules regarding it. Now, we are talking about functional format. And in functional format, we will be focusing more on our skills rather than our employment history. This is the difference. You see, in chronological, we had the employment details, but here we are emphasizing on our skills. First of all, our technical skills. It include hardware troubleshooting, network troubleshooting, all the types of programming, whether it is Java or C++ or Visual Basic or Android programming languages, Microsoft Office, MS Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Internet, Adobe Creative Suite, Photoshop, InDesign, After Effects, Dreamweavers. So now when you are going into IT field, then in that case you need to relate these words, that all these are technical words related to IT field. These are the technical skills, including all the technicalities. Next we come to the personal skills. Excellent written and verbal communication skills, highly organized and efficient, ability to work independently or as part of a team. You have that cooperative spirit, proven leadership skills, and ability to motivate. So these are your personal skills. Fine. Once again, you are not directly jumping to the employment. The next subheading is education. What exactly have you done? From where? Which year? So let us try to relate one by one. BTech in Information and Communication Engineering. 2010 to 2014. I told you science students, they take 4 years for doing their engineering. The graduation courses of commerce and arts humanities, that takes 3 years. Engineering takes 4 years. From where have you done your BTech? That is MJ Institute of Technology, Boni Avenue, Mangalore, Karnataka. What were your achievements there or responsibilities when you were in that institute? You were the president, Association of Computer Students, this particular year. You also were layout artist, the MJ Student Magazine during these 2 years, right? So these were your achievements during your college days. Now comes your experience, and initially you are writing your pre-professional experience before going into some professional firm. What exactly you did? You were a technical support intern in the IT department. This is your job title. Where? In ABC Business Services, Mangalore, Karnataka. How long you worked there? From June 2013 to February 2014. And over there, what exactly you did? Provided level 1 support, handled troubleshooting and maintenance as well as monitoring and deployment of IT. You see, you are very less experienced. You have just a pre-professional experience of only 8 months. That is the main reason why we are writing this particular resume in a functional format rather than a chronological format, because we are trying to hide the fact that we are very less experienced, and that is why we are focusing more on our technical skills and personal skills. Got it? You haven't done much as far as education is concerned. You don't have any kind of experience, so that is why this resume becomes very short, and we tried to lengthen it by adding the technical skills and the personal skills. After that, references. Now in references, we'll just simply write will be provided upon request. I can provide my references, people who know me and people who can just wow on my character and about my attitude. Last is declaration. Again, same thing. I solemnly declare that all the above information is correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. So this part once again is exactly 100% same. You can learn it because you will use it in every resume, whether it is chronological or it is functional. Objective and declaration, the starting of the resume and the ending of the resume, they both almost same. You can learn it. Ending, again, date, place, and your name on the right, David Alter, with your signature, of course. So this is our second type of resume, which is the functional format. Now let us see the third sample, which is a combination format. Here we will combine both these, chronological as well as functional. How? Let us try to relate. Starting is as it is same. Raghav Shetty. You have written the name, address 1207 Minto Road, Pune, Karnataka. Whatever. You can mix and match the addresses. You can write any, right? And after that, your telephone number, once again in the XXXX format, and your email ID, right? So these are the basic starting details: name, address, telephone number, and email ID. Next is your career objective. Once again, career objective is you are seeking to work for a progressive organization, right? What type of organization? Which will provide opportunities to utilize my skills and abilities. Same lines, you have already heard these lines above in both the resume. Now you are specifying here that you want to work for a progressive organization. At which post? At the post of a laboratory technician or junior technologist or quality control assistant within the food processing, pharmaceutical or chemical manufacturing industry. This is what exactly you feel you are good at. This is what exactly you feel that you should work for. Clear? So this is your career objective. Now, summary of qualifications. What all you have done. Now, we can write these qualifications in those subheading formats also, or in a run-on format also. Right? What are your skills? Let us summarize. in-depth understanding of the manufacturing process of foods and pharmaceuticals, including research or the product testing or in-process control or production planning, process operations, statistical quality control. You all these fields, you have the in-depth understanding of all these fields, right? Then whether it is experimental techniques or the product development and technical documentation, you understand each and every process done in these departments. Giving a space, you are highlighting that you had a hands-on training and laboratory experience along with the competency to conduct detailed experiments and testing, interpret their results, and prepare written reports for them. You are capable of doing this, and you already had a hands-on training and laboratory experience. Then you are trying to just tell them your personal zeal and personal skill, that I am an enthusiastic, industrious, hardworking, and creative individual and possess strong analytical, investigative, decision making, and communication skills. Right? All these are a few technical words. You will not be able to learn them in just one go. I do not expect that the moment you will listen these words, you will read it once and you will learn them. But with practice, everybody learns them. Don't worry about it. They seem to be very much technical. They seem to be very much difficult in the beginning, but they are not. Right? The first time when you see someone, you see something new, it is hard. It seems difficult, but not anymore. Remember the first time you actually just cycling. You did the cycling. Remember how you learned cycling? The first time you sat on the cycle and somebody who was just holding you up and they said, okay, now pedal, start pedaling. You were very afraid. But what after that? One time you fell, second time you fell, third time you were very much afraid, nervous. You were very excited to go first time on the main road, but you were nervous and you were fearful also. But after some time with some practice, now do you think cycling is difficult? For those who know cycling, it's kids play. You don't feel like cycle anymore. You want to have bikes and scooties and cars and all these means of transportation because you find cycling too easy. But once again, for a kid who doesn't know cycling, it will seem difficult. He still will ask you, okay, brother, tell me, how can you do it? How can you balance? I am not able to balance. I fail every time I just sit on the cycle and start cycling. So, this is what happens. A person who practices, for them, even becoming a pilot, he flies an aeroplane. Can we? No. Because the moment we'll enter the cockpit, so many switches, so many lights, we don't know what to and how to do. But those people, they do it daily. Why? Because they have practiced, because they have learnt, right? This is what you are going to do. So this is the first time that you are entering the cockpit of these resume aeroplanes, and after practicing them once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 10 times, you will be familiar with each and everything, and there will be a stage when you will just make the autopilot on and you will sit and relax and just have a drink of cappuccino or a tea. Okay, so let's continue further. Now coming on the education part, Jindal College of Applied Arts, Pune, Maharashtra. From there, you did your BTech in Food and Drug Technology. It was a 3-year undergraduate program, and the major areas of study under that program were practices of food manufacturing, processing operations, statistical quality control, pharmacology, analytical chemistry, food science, and nutrition. All with these bullets we have just shown in order to highlight each and everything and to give it a better appearance, right? So this is your education part. Overview of skills and experience acquired through training, because you didn't have any kind of practical job Experience. So this is the experience you have acquired through training. What you did there? What type of experience you got? You carried out detailed analysis of foods utilizing modern instrumentation. There you learned how to identify possible risk factors such as toxins, contaminations, foreign bodies using practical applications of microbiology in testing pharmaceuticals and foods. Carried out tests on numerous products in a laboratory for quality and product substitution. Studied in depth about the rules and regulations that control the market. Employed the techniques of analysis involving electrochemical spectroscopy, gas chromatography, and high pressure liquid chromatography HPLC. Now, this is something which I actually do not prefer that my students should learn and go into these technical details, because this is not practically possible for us. We are still in our schools, and it's not possible for us that we can learn all the technical things related to each and every job profile that may come in exam, because over there we don't know whether we'll be asked to apply for an accountant or an engineer or a doctor or a nurse or a teacher. So we need to have just the awareness of the basic things. We do not have to go into these kind of technical terms like gas chromatography, electrochemical spectroscopy, and high pressure liquid chromatography. We don't have to do it, because the non-science students, the commerce students, they don't have any kind of knowledge about these words. They may not have even heard it. And even the science students, most of the technical terms you have not even heard them. So there is no point learning such tough things, because it's not sure whether you are going to get this particular job application or which other, right? So these you can leave. This is just as a sample given, nothing more than that. Next is your employment experience. JB Chemicals, Pune, Maharashtra. From 2005 to 2017 you worked there as a sales manager. This is your job title, full time. And your job profile there were: ensure that excellent service was provided to customers after identifying their needs and providing appropriate product information, because you were a sales manager there, so you were directly in contact with your customers. Tracked, recorded, and verified the shipping of products from warehouses across the country. Again, this is one of the major role of a sales manager, to have a record of, to have a total track of all the sales being made by the company. This is your achievement that you are highlighting here, was awarded in inverted commas and initial alphabet capital, because these are the awards. Most promising employee and pinnacle award. This is what you have got: inverted commas and first alphabet capital. You were awarded these for reliability and commitment to delivering great customer service. So this is something that you are actually trying to impress your prospective employer, that you are so much capable and you already have proven that you deserve. Next are the computer skills. Not only in sales but technically also proficient in the use of advanced testing instruments including XYZ testing suite. Now, since even the examiner doesn't want you to give the technical terms, so that is why he has used XYZ. Expert in the use of Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. You can add MS Office also here, right? Because this is what we have done in the above two, so this is common. You can use it. Whenever it comes to software technical IT skills, you can use this. Possess the ability to quickly and independently learn new computer applications. Now, these are two different things. One is that you are already aware of all the latest applications, And secondly, because you are not in that field, you are in sales field, you are not in accounting, right? So that is why you are not actually till now aware of all the softwares or applications, and that is why you have just added that you can quickly and independently learn, so that if any kind of computer application is required, then in that case you have the ability to learn it independently without any kind of support from anyone. Got it? So these are our skills. Next are the references, again available upon request, and declaration, altogether the same. I solemnly declare that all the above information is correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. Date, place, signature and name, this part remains the same everywhere. Clear? So this is a combined kind of format in which we have emphasized both on our employment history as well as our skills and our education. Clear to all? Now, please go through all these three, try to compare, try to relate what are the various things that are common in all these, like the references, the declaration, a few lines in the objectives, a few lines when it comes to your skills, right? All these things which you find common, all these things which you think that they can be interchangeably used in all these things, note down those points separately and learn them, because those are the points which can be used in any kind of format that will come to you in the examination. Then try to observe the differences, that out of these three, what are the various differences that we were able to observe between the three, so that we can make ourselves revise again and again, that if it comes in chronological, I have to write this, which I don't have to write in functional or combined. If it comes in functional, I should write like this, not in chronological or combined. And in combined, I need to combine both in this way. So this is how you will be able to do it properly and thoroughly, right? So these are a few samples of resume. I hope that you all have understood, and with a bit of practice, I expect everyone to get fully and properly just prepared with this particular topic. And after doing it, try to write down a few resumes as well in order to make sure that you remember them. Okay, so ending the lecture here only. I leave you with you and your resumes. Just read them, go through them properly, and in the next lecture, we'll take up the next topic of the same chapter, resume writing. Till then, have fun, enjoy yourself, and have a great time. Thank you so much.